So there were audio and video problems that we had with this video. So I have to record a narration for the whole thing. So you have to listen to me talk for a while. Well, the entire duration of this video until the end, after I realized that things were screwed up. If you want more details on this, go check out my vlog. I'm going to try to do this in one cut. So here we go. This is my drill press table. I don't like it. It's not very big, and it has these gullets around the side of it where the bolts go through, and that little edge right there, the little valley that goes all the way around it. It gathers all kinds of junk, and I'd rather just take a brush and wipe it off instead of having to take the shop vac to it. So in this video, what I'm going to do is get rid of all that. I have another table saw. You'll hear, or not a table saw. What's this thing called? Drill press. I have another drill press with a bigger table that I'm going to put on top of this and hopefully make it better. Go ahead and give me a thumbs down. I don't enjoy doing this. I don't like the sound of my own voice, and you probably don't either. But I do what I can with what I got. This is the drill press that we'll be using. The table on it is a lot bigger. It's better. This is old Delta, built in 1988. It was brand new when I got it. It was wrapped in plastic still, sitting out in some trash. I cleaned it up, rewired it for 110 because it was 220, and then haven't used it since then. So I'm thinking about how to take this apart. And now that I'm watching it as I record the narration, I'm thinking that I probably should have wore my steel toes instead of the shop crocs. Shop crocs. Sorry, I've had a glass of wine. All right, it's heavy. It's not too heavy. I should be able to get this apart on my own. Though I do have my 98-pound wife to help lift if I need her to. She's stronger than she looks. So I'm just taking it apart now. Like I said, I couldn't remember how this came apart. I have had it taken apart before, just to clean it up. And I don't like the Porta-Cable table saw there to the left. If it doesn't have the little lock ring on it, it will fall all the way through. I did a lot of talking in this video, and I remember what I said. So that's unfortunate that I didn't catch any of this. Well, it's not loose enough. It doesn't look like it's coming apart. And I did speed up a lot of this because, see, there's that ISO issue that I was having before. I need to figure that out. Alright, yeah, I'm putting that bolt back in to knock this this wedge out. And you'll see here in a moment the wedge that's pulled out. And all it does is when you tighten it down, it pulls that little curved part right there into the that center post, so it doesn't slide or twist at all. I'm realizing how heavy it is. Thinking about the 90-pound or 98-pound help I have here. I was a little upset when I set this down because I realized I still had a bit in there. It's a countersinking bit that I'll be using for another project on the table saw, doing that front bar. If you haven't seen that video, go watch that one too. I gotta take that collet off to get the table off. It's a good old drill press. It's just the Delta One goes slower and it goes faster. It has a lot more range and speed. The only thing I don't like about the new Porta-Cable one is it doesn't. I can't wire for 220, so I can't get all the torques out of it that I wanted to. So here I'm trying to figure out how to take apart this Porta-Cable one, and it's got a couple set screws, and you can see that smaller one, if we could focus. Yeah, that one right there. It looks like a what do they call that? Not a push pin, a set pin, not a cotter pin. One of those round pins that's spring loaded. You got to punch out. But obviously focusing is an issue here. But I got it loose. It's important to stretch before you do any heavy lifting. I didn't have to take that pin out. It was just those two set screws that was all that was holding it in. I was surprised. I couldn't figure out what was keeping it from twisting, but it came right up and off. So I got another collet with a set screw, and the old table used that little crank thing with that what is it, a helical gear. And it took me a minute to get that off. One of the lighter parts, it wasn't too difficult. I had some issues trying to get off and realized I had to just lift the whole thing with the that little sidebar attached to it, and then it popped off and hit me in the balls. It wasn't that bad, it was just a graze. And here off frame you see me realize that both poles that hold the drill presses together aren't the same size. The one on the Delta drill press is smaller. So I realized I have to take a bunch of material out of there. So I'm just showing you here what the difference is. And I mentioned measurements, but I don't know what they were now. It was a little over 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16, too small. So I gotta go and hog all that material out of it. And cast iron, pretty easy to machine, I think. I'm not a machinist, so no expert, don't take my word for it. But my little burr that I used to take this out worked pretty well. And like most of my tools, it's a cheap burr. I've had it for a long time. It's held up pretty well with a cheap air grinder attached to my cheap air compressor, who can't keep up with me. One of the issues with this was the mess of iron shavings all over my garage. They went everywhere, and I'm still cleaning it up, not only with the shop vac, but with some magnets, and it's been sticking to everything. My cell phone, any little magnet, anything magnetic in the garage, it was sticking to. And like I said before, I'm not a machinist, so I didn't do this very cleanly, but I got it pretty good. I was proud of myself after it was all done. Whoa, echo. Let me fix that. All right, after it was all done, I was pretty satisfied with the results. I just wish I could use more precise tools to make it square, but it fit tight. I don't think I'll have to worry about the thing moving much if I get the table on there. And here I just realized that I forgot to put the bolt through that the table's actually mounted to. I'm trying to remember which way it goes on there. You see my little bit of struggling I'm doing there. It's a nice tight fit, but I can still move it once that table's on there, and I got that weight and inertia. It moves up and down pretty well. And I could always lube it up, help it a little more, and everybody loves lube. Probably could have sped this up a little more. You see that surface is kind of rough, and it'll get cleaned up just like I did the bandsaw behind it in one of my previous videos. Now I'm realizing that the mark for the 0, I don't know where it came from or who put it in there, and I wasn't trusting it, so I was thinking about putting a new one in there, and I did. I used some NASA approved materials and measuring devices. I think they came from Harbor Freight. To get the 0 correct, I did have to make a new mark in there. So now it's dead on accurate. So I think this is all I got left. Just slap the drill press up on there with the motor head, and then tighten up those set screws, and then I ended up polishing up that tabletop there. I was happy that the mandrel thing lined up right, and I won't put any holes through it, so that's good. There it is, all finished up. You can see it's a very reflective surface. Let me move this around. You see that gleaming in the light. And much like the top of the bandsaw over there, I did go over it with some different grits of emery cloth. I went a little higher with this one. I think I went to 2000. And then polished it off with some paste wax to keep it from rusting. And I think I'm going to put another coat on there because I can already see it's like getting all fingerprinted up. But it turned out real nice. If I didn't already, I apologize for the audio and video quality, the issues that we had before. If you didn't see my vlog post before this video, it explains a little more. Well, that'll be it for this video. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment below. Let me know what I can do better, and I'll see you next time.